1. Introduction. My name is Lisa. I am an 18-year-old girl, a first-year college student. My life was very simple: waking up in the morning, going to class, having fun with friends, and sometimes dreaming about the future. My mother was always by my side. She is strong, responsible, and very caring. She always said, "Lisa, always stand behind your own decisions. Never stop because of fear." I believed her words, but sometimes life takes us to a place where fear and attraction arrive together. My mother has a very close friend, Richard. He is about 40 years old. I had known him since I was young. From the first impression, he seemed polite, calm, and intelligent. When he talked with my mother, his gentle smile, quiet confidence, and respectful behavior always caught my attention. He helped me whenever I needed, answered my questions patiently, and spoke while looking straight into my eyes. At first, I saw him only as my mother's friend, but slowly his presence started to feel different. Sometimes I told myself, "Lisa, this is not right. You're 18, and he is your mother's friend." But the heart does not listen. Every conversation and every smile created a feeling I had never felt before. 2. The beginning of a wrong decision. One day, my mother went to the office, and Richard came to our house to pick up some important office documents. I asked him to sit on the sofa and offered him a cup of coffee. While drinking coffee, Richard talked with me. I noticed warmth in his eyes and kindness in his words. I wanted to stop myself, but I couldn't. My mind felt like it was pulling me closer to him. We talked for hours, sometimes laughing, sometimes sitting silently, just looking at each other. He seemed to understand when I was scared and when I was secretly attracted. Once he smiled and said, "You remind me of your mom sometimes, but you have your own spark too." There was such warmth in his words that my heart stopped for a moment. In the following weeks, I realized I was no longer seeing him, only as my mother's friend. Inside me, a strange attraction was growing. Sometimes fear, sometimes excitement, sometimes a sense of comfort. I kept asking myself, why is this happening? Why do I feel safe when I talk to him? Sometimes we sat quietly, just looking at each other. Richard's presence created an unknown curiosity inside me. His way of talking, his smile, the silent warmth in his eyes, everything slowly pulled me closer. I felt that these moments were more than curiosity. My heart was unknowingly becoming attached to him. The smell of coffee, the soft light, and Richard's words together made me weak inside. In every sentence, I looked at him a little longer, searched for him a little more. He seemed to understand that I was slowly falling into his charm. My heart began to feel confused. Spending time with Richard made me realize that curiosity, attraction, and unknown excitement were mixing together to create a wrong emotion. I wanted to listen to the warning inside me, but my heart was moving on its own path. With every conversation, my attraction to him grew deeper before I could fully understand it myself. When Richard left that day, I sat alone in the room thinking, could I understand this feeling, this attraction to Richard? No, I didn't understand it, I only felt it. Attraction, excitement, curiosity, all together created a powerful emotion that started to shake my peaceful life for the first time. I realized that this feeling was the beginning of my first wrong decision. 3. Drowning in the mistake. After that day, everything started to change strangely. We began to contact each other again and again, using small excuses. First messages, then phone calls, then plans to meet. Everything happened very naturally and very slowly. Richard used to tell me, "Lisa, feelings are not wrong. What's wrong is ignoring what your heart wants." And I, maybe because of my young age and lack of experience, found something that felt like truth in his words. I felt he understood me. He didn't scold me like my mother, and he didn't judge me like friends. One day, after my mother went to the office, we met again. While talking, the language of our eyes, the soft sound of breathing, the way he came and sat close to me, everything changed the atmosphere. At that moment, I felt there was no distance left between us. Slowly, we crossed the boundary that should never have been crossed. At that moment, everything felt good. I felt special. I felt important. My heart believed this was right, this was real feeling. But the truth is, that beautiful moment was also the beginning of the mistake, because the relationship was not built on stability or truth, but on restlessness, curiosity, and emptiness. And when a relationship stands on a wrong foundation, its ending is never beautiful. With time, I started to understand that the relationship which should have made me feel safe was slowly making me afraid. Richard wanted to come closer, and I was realizing that I had entered something I couldn't easily escape from. What once felt like a dream later became a mountain of mistakes, and under the weight of that mountain, I understood for the first time every feeling is not true, and not every pleasure brings peace in the future. A wrong decision is never made in one day. It is born slowly, and people realize it only at the end, when there is no easy way back. 4. The consequences of the mistake. When everything was over, I understood that some mistakes don't just waste moments. They change your entire life. The relationship with Richard was as forbidden as its ending was painful. At first, I thought it was love, emotion, and the call of the heart. But when the truth came out, I felt I had betrayed myself, my family, and my dignity. Guilt didn't come slowly. It hit me suddenly. I couldn't sleep at night. Everything felt wrong, dirty, and uncomfortable. Standing in front of the mirror, I couldn't recognize myself. That brave Lisa, who trusted her own decisions, was gone. In her place stood a scared, guilt-filled stranger. When people started to know, words slowly spread. Some direct comments, some disrespectful smiles. Everything reminded me that I had made a mistake. Those who once spoke to me with smiles created distance, friendship, trust, respect. Everything slowly disappeared from my life. The distance in my mother's eyes hurt the most. She said nothing, but the disappointment in her eyes felt worse than any punishment. Richard started to stay away, as if nothing had happened. The person I thought would understand me was the first to leave me alone in my mistake. Nights became the heaviest. Only one question kept turning in my head. Did I want this? Or did I fail to stop myself? Everything looks fine under the light, but in the dark, a person's own truth is the most frightening. And in those dark nights, I learned that mistakes don't just happen. Mistakes have a price. In the end, I understood. Relationships break silently, trust breaks quietly, and dignity breaks in a way that it never fully returns. 5. The journey of change. Realizing a mistake is pain, but accepting it is strength. At first, I blamed myself and wanted to hide, hoping the mistake would disappear. But time taught me that wounds never heal by running away. I started talking to myself. The first time I admitted my mistake out loud, I couldn't stop crying. But strangely, I felt a little lighter. That's when I realized I needed forgiveness, first from myself. Standing in front of the mirror, I said, Lisa, you made a mistake, but you are not a bad person. Learning from mistakes is your responsibility. Slowly, I started asking for forgiveness from others too. Not everyone forgave me. Some stayed silent, but the courage to accept my fault changed me. With time, I learned that people don't change in one day. Change comes slowly, through pain, by facing the truth. I learned that no one can save me unless I try to save myself. And from that day, my real new journey began. Call to action, short. If you are standing in front of a decision that your heart wants but your conscience is stopping, pause and think. Feelings are beautiful, but when they take the wrong path, they return one day as deep pain. Value yourself. Respect boundaries. Don't decide by someone's words. Decide by your self-respect and your future. Stopping before a mistake is easy. Coming back from a mistake is always painful. Save yourself. Save your future. That's all for today. See you in another video. Thank you.